The opinions expressed on this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect those of Cable 14, its sponsors, or its shareholders, Cogeco Cable, Shaw Cable, and Source Cable Limited.
Come Monday nights and Thursday nights especially, something we're doing with our good friends at the City of Hamilton, the Hamilton Bulldogs organization. We're making hockey accessible and affordable for kids between the ages of 6 to 10.
As Jason mentioned, myself, Brian Lewis, and he were out at Eastwood a few months ago and kind of discussed this program and what it might mean to the area, what it might mean to some of the kids to get an opportunity to play our wonderful sport, who otherwise might not have been able to afford the equipment.
I started my career at Eastwood Park, and it's a little funny story because this is a program about learn to skate. And I went to my first hockey school that summer, Big B hockey school at the end of the day, and I was not a very good skater, and it didn't matter. They took me at Eastwood and they taught me how to enjoy the game and again get better to move up. And as people know who I am now, I spent over 11 years in the National Hockey League, and I played all my minor hockey in Hamilton and moved on technically to another junior program, which was the Brantford Alexanders, the old Hamilton Fin Cup. So technically I played my whole hockey career in the Hamilton area and had so many great people involved, not only with getting me where I wanted to go, but my friends as well. And when they say it takes a village or it takes a city, this is it right here.
Well, hello and welcome to this Monday, January the 9th edition of For the Record, a special episode with big news taking place in the North End's Eastwood Arena. I am your host, Mike Fortune. We just saw that clip there with Councillor Jason Farr. Our guest coming up very shortly, the president of the Hamilton Bulldogs, Bob McNamara, and of course, former NHLer, Stanley Cup champion Rick Nattrass. Skate the Dream. What a great concept put together, and as you saw Jason talk about, over the next little while, 76 to 100 kids who will normally not have the opportunity to play the great game of hockey, which is Canada's sport, will have that opportunity, and also a large part of thanks to the wonderful citizens of Hamilton donating their time and their equipment. My guest today, as mentioned, the president of the Hamilton Bulldogs. He's been in the city now for the past little while, a bit of a homecoming for him as he grew up in Toronto, but he's back in the Hammer now after some time in Grand Rapids. It's the president of the Bulldogs, as I mentioned, Bob McNamara. Bob, great to see you today. How you doing, my friend?
I'm great. I appreciate you having me on this afternoon, and really looking forward to talking about this program.
You know what? It is such a great program. We've talked a little bit in the lobby about it. Why don't you kind of take us through how it came to fruition, how you, Councillor Farr, and I understand Brian Lewis was also part of this as well.
Yeah, we were several months ago meeting with the city to discuss the outdoor game which we're having at Ivory Wind Stadium on January 21st, and the subject of Eastwood Rink came up, and the viability, the long-term viability of Eastwood Rink came up, and the city had mentioned that they wanted to explore the possibility of keeping this rink open and making it available to people in the neighborhood. And we mentioned that we'd be interested in helping out and becoming involved in any program. So we met with Councillor Farr out there several months ago to discuss maybe some programs. A pet project that he had was a 3-on-3 type hockey program, a cross-ice program, which would be affordable for the kids in that neighborhood. And we jumped on board, and we're excited about it. We mentioned that we'd do whatever we could to help out. Namely, what we're doing from our end is we're giving away tickets for our games, the people that come to our games and bring any pieces of hockey equipment to us. And we'll make it available to the Eastwood Rink for kids that can't afford equipment. And the kids that are part of this program are 6 to 10 years old, the kids that otherwise couldn't afford to play the sport. So we're making the sport accessible to kids that would never have had an opportunity before. And we're excited to be a part of this for sure.
And you've touched on it just a couple times right there. For the kids that can't afford it, but also you're going to open it up to kids that they're new to this country. They've seen it. They've heard about hockey. What is it exactly? Giving them the opportunity to experience the game on skates like they're heroes, like the guys they see on television. But again, it's an expensive sport. $10, I understand, to register per kid. And then they're going to get a couple nights a week, Monday and Thursdays. And you said it's 3-on-3, so it gives the kids a real opportunity to kind of always be touching the puck, always being involved.
Yeah, it's basically a cross ice program where the kids are able to touch the puck. They don't have to skate the length of the ice to get to the puck. And as they're learning to skate, as you know, it gets difficult when you're out there and you're a young kid and you're just learning to skate and you've got to skate the length of the ice to maybe try and touch the puck. So it allows more kids to experience it at once. It allows it to be easier for them. And really what it does is, as you mentioned, new Canadians and immigrants to the country that see the sport and would like to play it but don't know anything about it. We're trying to make it accessible to them. We're actually using the Ivor Wynne ice rink. It's going to stay open for a week after the outdoor game, and we're going to make it available for some public skates, for some community skates, and a lot of these new Canadians to get out there and learn to skate. And this pilot program that Councillor Farr came up with is going to be centered around the Eastwood rink, and hopefully this will help the Eastwood rink get back and get back to a viable rink where the community can use it on a nightly basis and grow this program so that long term down the road, a kid may end up playing in the National Hockey League when he's 25, maybe 19 years from now, looking back and say, hey, I got my start at the Eastwood rink, and thanks to Councillor Farr, thanks to the Bulldogs, thanks to the City of Hamilton for starting this program and starting this project.
And also thanks to the citizens of Hamilton who are donating lots of their old used equipment. You got a couple kids, they play hockey. I'm sure you have some old gloves, sticks, skates. We all seem to have those kind of just lingering around the basement. I know there are a number of different drop-off areas that folks can drop off their equipment. And I know Jason and Judy kind of have a project going on that kind of coincides with the Eastwood Arena as well. So drop off the equipment. Kids that don't get to play the game get the equipment, and then they get to go play a little bit of hockey. It's a win-win all around, as you alluded to, Bob.
Yeah, no question. And the program, in terms of the equipment drop-off, we've done it just for a couple nights at our games so far, and the response has been tremendous. Everybody does have that old equipment that's laying around the basement and really is not being used. And all you have to do is just bring it down. You get a couple tickets to a Bulldogs game, and it really does provide people, as we mentioned, that otherwise couldn't afford it, the opportunity to lace up the skates, to put on a helmet, to put on some gloves, and go out and enjoy this wonderful sport that we've been so fortunate and able to play.
And what a thrill it will be for some of these kids who have been able to research hockey a little bit. I understand Rick Natras will also be involved. He's volunteering his time. I think I read some of his kids are. People will be volunteering their time. How neat is it to have a former Stanley Cup champion on the ice teaching these kids how to play? Some of these kids are going to look up at him in complete awe. A former NHLer here helping us.
Yeah, I believe so. And Rick, is a tremendous member of this community. And as he mentioned in the initial the kickoff to this program, that he grew up merely blocks away from Eastwood Rink, and he learned to skate there. He learned to play hockey there. And he's Stanley Cup champion and a Hamilton native. So the incentive for young kids that want to grow up and play hockey for fun, or even if they play it well enough that they're able to make a living out of it, to see a guy like Rick Natras on the ice with them certainly lends it a significant amount of credibility.
We got a couple minutes left, and I have to ask, how are things coming for the big weekend? We got the alumni game, and then of course the outdoor classic coming up between the Bulldogs and the Marlies. We're talking off camera. The ice, I understand, is going in tomorrow. Everyone's pretty excited and pumped to how the process is going. A lot of work, I can imagine.
Yeah, it's really been a lot of work. Very gratifying to see the boards out there at Ivor Wynne just go up yesterday, and they're starting to make ice tomorrow morning. In terms of the preparations, we announced the alumni rosters last week. Boy, we've got quite a lineup from Wendell Clark to Daryl Sittler is one of the coaches, Johnny Bauer is one of the coaches, Guy Carbonneau, Guy Lafleur, Ray-Jean Houle, Brick Vive, Doug Gilmore. So we've got all the A-listers coming out to play in the game, and one ticket gets you into both events. So you buy one ticket, and they start at $29. So they're very, very affordable. There's $29 and $49, plenty of those tickets available. They go up to $90, but as I said, there's plenty of those other tickets available, and you get into both events. The alumni game is on the 20th at 7:30 Friday evening, and then the main event, the Steeltown Showdown, sponsored by Boston Pizza, will be at 1 o'clock on Saturday, January 21st, and we're excited about it. We can't wait to see the stands filled and to see these guys out on the ice.
Bob, I just quickly want to ask regarding the alumni game. You know, for someone like me, I grew up watching the Dougies and the Wendell Clarks. Is there a meet and greet? Is there opportunity for fans to touch base with the Guy Carbonos and all that, or how is that working, if at all?
Well, we do have an alumni luncheon that's going to take place at 12:30 on that Friday afternoon at Lyona Pier. But in terms of like a get-together for the fans, they'll be able to see them at the game. I don't know that we have anything in addition planned to it, but they will be able to be down there and to see these guys play. And I think to see all these wonderful alumni from two of the most storied teams in the National Hockey League, I think it's going to be quite an event.
Certainly will be. Bob, this has been wonderful. Thank you so much for your time. Folks, for more information, go to HamiltonBulldogs.com. That will give you information on the Skate the Dream, also regarding the alumni game and the big outdoor classic coming up at Ivory Stadium. For the Record, and for my host, Bob McNamara, I'd like to thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you next time right here on For the Record.